This is really a great city. I don't care what anybody says. It's just really a knockout, you know?
Since the birth of cinema well over a century ago, New York has been one of the world's most popular settings, subjects, and sources of inspiration for filmmakers of all kinds.
You talking to me?
Now there's a new exhibit at the Museum of the City of New York called You Are Here that draws on the rich archive of movies set in New York, combining thousands of cinematic moments from 400 movies across 16 screens. The movies include Hollywood blockbusters, independent films, documentaries, and experimental works. And it spans New York City films across all 5 boroughs from the silent era all the way up to the present, ultimately showing the spirit of the city itself.
Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
The scenes from these movies are grouped into thematic categories that show our city in a positive as well as a negative light, and everything else in between. There's the many romance films that are a staple of movie making in the Big Apple.
Yes! 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 Oh!
Gritty crime dramas that depict the underbelly of the city. Corrupt finance films set on Wall Street.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Comic book heroes where the director uses the city's landscape to display superpowers. Beloved time-honored comedies.
We're in New York now. Let us dress as New Yorkers.
Treasured New York holiday movies.
Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
There's musicals that take place in different New York City locales, as well as right on our city streets. There's also New York mob movie classics that are alternately violent, raw, and sometimes even funny.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Sarah Henry is the chief curator of the Museum of the City of New York. There's 16 screens that run hundreds of films simultaneously. Was this something that you came up with, or how did that whole idea come about?
We knew we wanted to do something that was not just a cinematic experience where you sit down and you look in one direction, but that would give you a chance to be really surrounded by the films. The film really has a rhythm and an arc to it. It's like playing 16-dimensional chess. It's really a classic hero's journey where the protagonist is the city itself. So there's a sequence at the beginning where you kind of see the city from afar, then you meet the people of the city. You get introduced to things like nightlife and getting around, the whole transportation system. And then things sort of take a dark turn. We get into the horror movie section, all the ways that filmmakers have loved to blow New York up and tear New York down. And then there's a resurrection, kind of reprieve of the city that comes from the creativity of New Yorkers. So New York hits some hard times in this film, and then it emerges in a kind of joyous place. It's more than you can absorb in one sitting, but New York is more than you can absorb in one visit. So we thought that was appropriate.
What do you want people to come away with after they see the You Are Here exhibit?
Just an appreciation for the degree to which New York is an inspiration and a muse for filmmaking. But we also want people to look at the city and their own relationship to the city in new ways. There's something about seeing 12 scenes of a cab ride right around you that may make you experience your next cab ride or your next subway ride or your next walk down the street in a different way.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out!
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. There's also a gallery before you enter the film itself that's filled with an array of still shots and informative text that explains to you in detail the remarkable history of movie making in New York City.
I want everything I've ever seen in the movies! Leo, say you'll join me! I'll do it! My God, I'll do it!
The Museum of the City of New York is located on 5th Avenue at 103rd Street. It's where you can watch the filmmaking exhibit You Are Here, as well as lots of other fabulous permanent exhibits that tell you the history of New York in New York City. For Arts in the City, I'm Neil Rosen.